Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the While You Wait podcast. Guess who's back?
I'm back.
It's Jessica and Jenna back in the flow. I feel like
Yay.
it's been a hot minute since we've grounded into this expression.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. It has
Yeah.
been a hot minute.
Let's just blame it on the transits. Is that like the excuse for everything? The transits really had us like our schedules weren't syncing up.
Oh, no, they were not. But we went with it, right?
Yeah.
Like
We we rolled with it,
we did
which is
roll
gonna
with
be
it. We'll hear
funny
more
when we get
about
into
that soon.
our conversation. But I want to say, like, there was times like Jess and I had intentions to show up and record,
Yeah.
and that we did.
Mhm.
But it didn't go the way that we thought it would, or the way it has been for, I don't know, how long have we been doing this? 6 months?
Probably.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like our intention and our normal flow of things has been slightly different.
Yeah.
But despite that, I'm glad that like we are here, we are back, we are human, and we are together, and we're just
Yeah.
like doing the thing. Like it's fine.
It is.
Everybody survived, right? You guys enjoyed Nick for a hot minute.
Oh, so good. I
Jess
loved
by
it.
herself. What
Yep.
did you think of that episode? I didn't even like
Oh,
fully,
with you
fully
and Nick?
ask you.
Oh, I loved it. I feel like I know Nick, but I've never
True.
met you. I've never met Nick. So it's just fun to hear
Yeah.
like him in conversation.
That's what he said to me. He was like, he listened to it, of course, because he
Yeah.
listens to every episode. And he was like, oh, I got some feedback for myself though, of like
Oh,
when he felt like he didn't like fully respond or when he was a little quieter. And he's like, I get it now though. Like I get it.
oh,
I was
that's
like,
so sweet.
you're so cute, babe. I love you. He's gonna be hearing this too. But
He's welcome back on at any time.
yeah, I can't wait to talk to David.
I, yeah, we will make that happen.
David, whenever you want, pop on.
Yes. Yeah. The timing will happen. That'll
Yeah.
come. And that'll be a hoot. I like cannot wait.
I know.
Oh,
I'm curious. Like, I want to see your dynamic compared to ours.
yeah. I very similar. I mean, I think they're both manifestors. Like there's just certain
Yeah.
right where it's like, oh, they're done. Like, oh yeah, okay, we'll wrap it up.
It was
Like,
like 20 minutes in and he was like getting fidgety. I'm like, babe,
right. Yeah,
settle down.
right.
You're fine.
Gotta love those
Just a
manifestors.
little pet child. Like, you're okay. You can make it through.
Oh, but I'm glad he listened and he's like, you know what? Okay,
Yeah.
I can do
Yeah.
this.
You can do whatever you want, Nick. You're a manifester. Shout
That's
out to all the manifestors doing whatever they want.
yes. Yes.
Speaking of what we want in
Mm,
life, I feel
yes.
like that's a kind of good transition into,
Mhm.
I don't know what we're talking about today, but like Jess and I have just talked for about 2 hours catching
Mhm.
up.
Yeah, we did.
So we're in like rare form right now. You're getting like the tail end of Jessica and Jenna. So let's hope that there's a through line here.
Right. I think so. I think so. I
If
think
not, it's
we'll
fine. It's fine.
also that too.
Right?
Something to take out of any conversation.
Yes, even if it's just making fun of us. I don't know. Um, okay, so speaking of what we want,
Oh,
I feel like this is kind of the conversation we want to have where we, as human beings and our egos and our present conscious selves who are having this human experience, a lot of times we think we want things.
yeah.
And so we think we want them so bad that we will think up a whole storyline and a narrative, and we'll think up solutions to get us there, and we'll think up conversations to have to convince other people to take us there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just not aligned in your spiritual path to have the thing that you think you want. And the universe is always looking out for you when your ego does that ego trip. And that's kind of what we're going to play around with today and talk about
Mhm.
and get
And we
some
love
clarity.
a good metaphor. I mean, if
Mhm.
you listen to more than one episode, you probably have heard one because I think every episode we have
We
something
should
more.
we should like that should be a goal to like always nail a solid metaphor from this moment
Right?
forward, because like who doesn't love a good metaphor?
It just naturally comes
It's
out.
the thing that always sticks for me.
Yes, I think that's why we're
Mhm.
drawn. That's like kind of how our conversations go,
Mhm.
is that at some point there's going to be some metaphor to
So
be like,
like what inanimate object am I going to be today? And
today we're
how does it
bowling.
fit
We're
in
bowling today.
my current life experience?
Yes.
Okay, so the metaphor we're using today is the bowling lane of your life.
Absolutely. Aren't you already excited? Who doesn't
I'm
like
so
bowling?
excited.
I mean,
Guess what? I
oh
was on
no.
a league when I was younger.
Like competitive?
Saturday mornings
I
at
love it.
11.
Did
Me
you
and
have
my
like gloves or like your own bowl,
bowl.
own ball and shoes?
I did have my own ball. It
Yeah.
had my name on it.
What color?
I don't know why I picked this. Okay, so my friend Darcy was a avid bowler.
Go
She was the
Darcy.
star of the show. Okay,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I'd love to come hang out with you on Saturdays." And I started bowling.
Love
And
it.
so I was there and I was good, but I didn't I wasn't born a bowler. I definitely like worked my way into the Saturday scene of bowling. And so when my parents offered to buy me my own bowling ball, it was like I was so excited. I think I blacked out
Oh,
and I
yeah. Okay.
picked the colors red, white, and blue.
Really?
Yeah. And
Wow.
when I got
Would
it
not have guessed
delivered,
that.
I know, when I got it delivered, I was like, ew, I hate it. Like, this is ugly.
Like, how is it not like cosmic? Like, I was thinking like pink, purple, sparkly.
Yeah, no.
No,
It was like an American
very,
bowling ball, if
yeah,
you
very
can
patriotic.
picture. Yeah. And then I like had it and I actually only just threw it away like a year or two ago because my mom's like, "Do you
Wow.
want your bowling ball?" And again, pulls it out of the bag and I'm like, "This thing is hideous." No.
Hey, go get yourself a new bowling ball.
I mean, that's
Okay,
a
what
little
age
excessive.
range was this for you?
This was like, I don't know, like 9 to
Okay,
11,
nice, nice. Yeah,
something like that in that frame. No, I don't need my own bowling ball
yeah.
because right now my life is the bowling ball
I guess it is. Yes, it is.
and
It
I
was.
am the bowler.
Yes.
And I'm always just giving it a solid try to like throw my life down and experience a strike.
Yeah.
But sometimes, as we
Mhm.
were saying, the ego comes in and we want to like go in a certain direction and do a certain thing. But the universe has bumpers on your lane 24/7. This is the
Always
metaphor
taking
coming
care.
together.
Yes.
Yeah, the
This is
universe
our
is.
metaphor of how the universe takes care of you. Bumpers. It works. Everyone
There's
I
a
know is
very,
going, oh, okay.
I hope so, because we
Yeah.
did.
Yes.
Like your spirit came in here with a very specific big mission, which I actually dive into in the map of you. So it's very fresh of mind in the creation process.
Yeah.
But your spirit has this big mission, and that is the bowling lane. Like it's super clear to your spirit.
Yep. Your life
But
path.
yes, your life path, perfect human design.
Yep.
But we get into these computer brains of ours and these physical forms, and we start to like the clear vision isn't as clear, and that's kind of the point because we want to see if we can like nail it and get the strike at the end of our life.
Right.
And us as the bowlers, sometimes we think we want to go in a direction and we'll bump up against the bumper, and the bumper is just the universe saying, "Nope, not this way."
Yep. A nice
And
redirection.
and that recently happened in my life.
Yeah. I love it. Give us the details because this is, as we were talking earlier, I'm going to share an example as well, but we were talking about this and then the bowling metaphor came to be and it's like, well, no, like that this is accurate. Like this is what we're experiencing in
Mm-hmm.
life. And it also helps just to like give it some light, right? Like it makes it visually a connection, but also like, oh, yeah, we're all doing this. Like, oh, okay, we're all gonna
Mm-hmm.
hit the bumper. It just is a matter of how many times and maybe how fast, how hard
Mm-hmm.
we can adjust those things. But I
And
think
like if you do hit the bumper, the sooner you realize that you're hitting the bumper, right? It's your turn to bowl. You're up at the
yep,
lane and you're like, well, last time when I did it this way, I hit the bumper. Am I going to just keep doing it and doing it and doing it? Because you're going to keep getting the same result. The universe is going to be pushing you a new way. The sooner you can be like, oh crap, that didn't work, or
right.
that didn't feel good, or that was a clear sign, the sooner you can just get back at the center of your lane. Of
Yep.
course, like there's skill and practice to all of this.
Sure.
Oh my God, it's getting even better. If you join a bowling league and you start studying yourself, soon you'll be a master bowler. You'll be a master at your life.
Yes. Yes.
Damn.
Yes, the awareness, like when you show up to that lane, the awareness and intention
Mm-hmm.
is really what metaphorically is going to provide that strike, that
Yeah.
turkey, that you like, like do it over and over again, people.
Oh, this is so cute. I just got so happy because my pap used to bowl like a lot. He was on a team and he loves
Yes.
bowling and he always would get turkeys. So this is so cute. I feel like
It's
Spirit's
so
coming in and is like,
fun, right?
yes.
Like
Yeah.
that's such a celebration. Like
Yeah.
I
Nailed it.
don't know what's after a turkey, but there's probably something in after a turkey.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, yes. Okay,
Oh my
so
gosh.
this last weekend, you've had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
information and clarity.
Yeah. So
Tell us.
I guess I'll begin by saying that Nick and I went to Asheville in June of 2022, and it
Mhm.
was at the center of a lot of like physical symptoms in my life. Like I had a lot coming up through my body, a lot of messages and realizations happening through my body, just not feeling well, not figuring out what the source was, all of that stuff. And I went to Asheville not feeling well. And when I got there, felt amazing. I think I've talked about this before, right? Like
Mhm.
when you leave your circumstances or you change your environment, sometimes like so much clarity can come in.
Yep.
So at that first visit in June of 2022, I went to Asheville and I felt amazing. I was like, "Oh my God, this place is awesome." And of course, we were there as vacationers, but
Yep.
I had such a connection to that place.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I remember that.
it was the place. Like there was a lot to experience there for me. But even thinking back right now in this moment, I'm realizing it also was like the release of what I was feeling. Like there
Right.
was a surrender and a receiving in that space that I got to have that like days before I was
Right.
not in the energy of.
Right.
So
Right.
so since then, Nick
Mhm.
and I have always played around with the idea of wanting to relocate.
Mhm.
Um, ever since we started dating, we always wanted to like travel across the US. Like we just have like we love vacationing, and when Nick
Sure.
and I are in that energy together, we are like obviously everyone's great on vacation, but our dynamic on vacation, we like become just this elevated experience of ourselves and our relationship.
Yeah.
So we've always wanted to go experience us in a new place and see what it has to offer us. And at the same time, it's always felt really misaligned or not like easily available to us and where we have been at in life so far.
Mhm.
And so we got to a place where in this past summer, obviously we're crashing with parents right now. So it was
Right.
like
Right.
the
And
perfect
how many
time for
months? How long has that been so far?
end of July. It's like
Okay.
going on three
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep.
quarter of a year.
Yeah.
It's one
Oh,
full quarter.
that's an interesting perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like this was, we also kind of thought like, oh my God, is this the perfect time to explore? Like we don't have any commitments. We're not in a mortgage anymore. We don't have a lease. Like we're just chilling.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even ask Nick if it was cool if I could share all this, but he's fine. Hey, Nick, by the way, blasting all of our last 3 months on the podcast. It's fine. So we thought this was a great time to really explore where we might want to be. And of course, Asheville comes up. So we booked a
Right.
trip not only to get out of the parents' place and experience some time together, but we also were very much like touring places down there and looking at the neighborhoods and seeing like, could we live here?
Right.
And it's so funny when we went down, I immediately got sick.
Mm.
I I thought I had a sinus infection. Like
Ugh.
I was sneezing every 3 seconds.
Wow. Oh gosh.
I was exhausted. My eyes were itchy, everything.
Yep.
And it went away after 2 days. But like, so just the whole like, I went there last time and thought I felt better. And I
Right.
went there this time and was immediately sick. It could be the time of month, time of year, I mean.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
But immediately I didn't feel right. And then as we explored with the mindset of like a local, of like, okay, we're not here vacationing. We're like, what if this was our grocery store? You
Right.
know, what
Right.
if this was what it was like when we went downtown on a Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
My spleen said, no,
Right.
nope,
Right.
nope, 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 nothing. And it's funny because like I realized that that was like there wasn't an invitation to go there. And I don't think there needs to be necessarily an invitation to live your own life as a
Yeah.
projector.
Yeah.
But everything about it was from the mind of like me thinking, oh, this is a really good place for us because of X, Y, and Z. Could you imagine if this happened and that and this and that? And yet, like the path there, like there was no path.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's not like either of us have jobs in that area. Nick
Sure.
doesn't have an opportunity to explore that right now. Like there's just so much resistance. And it was almost like, if I think of our little bowling metaphor, I just kept like throwing my ball at the freaking bumpers and being like, but I want to go to Asheville, or I want to move away. Like this is, I think I should move away. I think I should move away. I want to move away. And the universe is just like, no, like,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's not for your highest best self, at least not in this season of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm realizing that, and that's so cool. And since we drove home, I felt so much relief and so much like, oh my God, this is
Right.
amazing. I'm like just rolling down the lane.
Yes. Well, and it's
So
interesting. This is like good timing as well with last week's episode with you and Nick. Literally, you were
we
in
in
Asheville.
Asheville.
And even when you guys were talking about going there, it was very much a you leading
Mm-hmm.
going. And even Nick was like, well, yeah, I'm open to it. And you're like, but like, you're the manifester. And then not to put
Yeah,
like a manifester
for
box,
sure.
projector box, but you saying about that invitation too, and just that,
Mm-hmm.
like that energetic dynamic between you two. I could see more of that flow and ease and opportunity if Nick had more of a drive,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could see the potential through that
Mm-hmm.
versus that more mental, like you're saying right
Yeah.
now. Like that, just from last week, hearing how you two were talking about it, to
Yeah.
like that's really cool to see that
Yeah.
unfold.
And it's crazy how much you can convince yourself that something is right.
It's
Like
easy.
it's so easy. Like I still on
Yeah.
paper have so many things of like, well, these are the benefits of moving
Right.
away and
Right.
going somewhere and experiencing another place. And I obviously they're valid,
Yep.
but I am not just my present conscious human self. Like there's a path here that I am honoring and experiencing. And I've learned through like the business the last few years and just like my whole life and relationships that like we talked about resistance in an earlier episode, which is still one of my favorites.
That is a really good one.
But like resistance, healthy resistance feels like a speed bump,
Yeah. Yes.
like the bowling ball takes a little bit, a
Yep.
little jump on the way down. That wasn't comfy, but like we made it. But like when something genuinely isn't right for you, it's like you're forcing it. Like it's like this resistance that's like you pushing something up a mountain or
Yes.
you swimming upstream.
Yes.
Even when
Yes.
you swim downstream, you might like hit a rock or get
For
stuck,
sure. Yeah.
but you're not swimming upstream. And like that experience looking back now, watch, now that I'm saying this, we'll probably move. No, I'm just kidding.
It's
But like
possible.
now that I'm not pushing it or
Right.
doing it from the mind, it's like, oh, well,
Yes.
this is way easier. This is living.
Well, and now you have, I think there's a lot to be said too for um like those wants, right? So like you do have a
Mhm.
list of like
Oh yeah.
maybe not like that. I mean, maybe it is that location or the things you want around you and da 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 da. Well, now you get to use that and go, how can I nurture and nourish this in my current reality?
Mm-hmm.
Because that
Yeah.
is possible, and that's
Yeah.
universe, the lane. If there's
Yeah.
a little smudge here or you gotta hit that bumper to show you, no, no, you have all of this right now. All of these possibilities are
Mm-hmm.
in your current reality. And now
Yes.
you get to open that up and like
Yeah.
see for those desires, which
Mm.
like
So
whatever's
beautifully
gonna come
said.
through for you guys, it's like it's
That
gonna
was just
feel
like
good.
said so beautifully. I'm
Oh,
like, yes, yes,
thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
I think too, it's like a game of giving too much power to something externally and like that being the location or even the thought or the belief or the need to move away.
Right.
Like I was giving power to that way too much in my own mind. And
Right.
I've done that before, like with the business. And I learned that lesson. Like, I gave way too much power to the work I'm supposed to do, quote unquote, supposed to do in this world. And then it like ate me alive and consumed me. And I never moved the needle. Well,
Right.
the same thing just happened with like, where am I, quote unquote, supposed to live or, have a family? And we don't know where that's supposed to be. Like life is going to show you where that's supposed to be. And life is showing me that that's like right here, right now. So
And like, that's not
no
your
big deal.
priority, right? Like that's what the universe is showing. Like,
Yeah.
no, Jenna, don't, that's, focus here, not there.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Yeah.
you here. Like we will
Yeah.
provide here.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, you saying that is very similar to when I got serious about being like, okay, what kind of partner do I want in my life? Like I created a list, right? Like I
Yeah.
had, but then the next kind of piece of that was like, well, where in myself am I not showing up in these ways? And that
Yeah.
was like, oh, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And that's when things I felt
Like,
like,
am I wearing the right bowling shoes? Did I get enough sleep last night? Did I
yes,
have my pasta before a big game or a big match, whatever they're called,
the right weight of the bowling
of the
ball.
ball? Yeah.
I
Like
don't, or like the
that's all you
whole
have to focus
sizes.
on.
Those always suck in bowling alleys.
What?
The whole sizes for the
Oh
fingers.
yeah.
Those are,
Well, because your fingers are probably like little noodles,
yeah.
little
I need like a
tiny
size,
noodles.
like a 6 pounder. Like, okay, little guy. Anywho, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if all those
Yeah.
things, those
That's
that's
what you have
over
control
your
over.
control. Yes, yes, yes.
Look at us. Bing,
Boom,
bing, bing.
boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I feel, I'm not gonna lie, I feel very grounded. I have a lot of clarity. Will my mind change in a day? I don't know, maybe, but I am energy and I can change as much as I want. But like right now, the energy is moving in a specific direction. And I'm just kind of surrendering to that. And that, oh my God, it's like night and day. I'm like, whew, okay. All right.
Well, and
I can
obviously
let
your
go.
healing is online
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
your creativity is
Mm-hmm.
flowing very supportively, right? Like it's very,
Mm-hmm.
it's nourishing you, it's providing life. And like that is what
Yeah.
supports that, to
Mm-hmm.
be unlocked and to have access to it again.
Yeah. Trusting my inner authority
Yeah. Yeah.
completely,
Yes.
despite what I see on paper. So, and
Yes.
not that there isn't like so much amazing about where I'm at. Like I fully recognize that. So if anybody's listening and like is from this area, I know that. But and I know it's come from I've always known there's been like a little ego lens and like a little ego, I don't know, a little sliver of ego in all of
Yeah.
this
Yep.
because I went to school super close to
Right. Right. Right.
myself, and everybody in high school called it the 13th grade. And I had some girls that actually like made fun of me for going to school there. And I'm like, dude, literally college doesn't even matter at this point. Like, wish I didn't even go at all. And then you could have made fun of me for that because am I using my degree? Kind of. No, not really.
Right. Right. Right.
But I know that there's a little bit of that like in me, in my inner child, that's like, well,
Identity.
moving away is greater than not. But
Sure.
that's just a subjective
Mhm.
narrative that I've been buying into.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
though I still want to see the world and experience it and like continue vacationing, but like I don't want to just go pick one other place.
I mean,
I gotta
right.
come
Like,
to Washington.
yes, get over here. Get over here. I mean, yeah, I literally like, okay, do I live in one place or do I vacation? Okay, I'm gonna
I
pick
know.
vacation every time.
Also, me and Nick at the end of the trip, well, I was like, do you need to come back here anytime soon?
Oh, that's a
And
good, that's
like,
good. Yeah.
yeah, are you ready to visit here again? And he's like, I feel like I've seen what I need to see, at least for a few years. And I'm like, well, that's a sign as well.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
we're like, we're
Yep.
good.
I
Time to
love
go to the
that.
beach. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm there too. Okay. I'll come meet you at the beach.
So tell me about your puppy. I've been hogging all the
Oh,
space.
it's all good. It's all good. We were just kind of riffing there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I have David and I have little Houdini, and it's already been 3 weeks with just the
Crazy.
cutest. He
Little
just
smush.
such a cute face.
It's a
Just
smush.
oh, it is. And the loose skin still, he's got to like
Mm,
do all
puppy
the
skin.
growing. Yes,
Does
he's
he have
just
puppy breath?
oh. Is what does puppy breath smell like?
Jessica, I'm so disappointed. It's cute. It smells like puppy breath.
I mean, he smells really good. Like
Smells breath.
but his yeah, that I'm like, I
Your
don't
state
know.
girl's like, no,
Okay, because I don't
no
love
thanks.
kisses. I don't love David loves it and he like licks his whole entire face and like you get it, go for it. And I'm like, you can like a couple
Get
times
it,
and then
man.
I'm good. I'm good. I like ugh, I don't love that.
Get
But
it.
cuds, he can be on my lap whenever he likes. So yeah, we've had him for 3 weeks and people, I have never owned an animal. let alone a dog. So it's been very transformative. I'm in the thick of it on all areas of life right now. But I'm going to keep with this analogy of where we're in the bowling alley. I got the shoes, I got the ball. I'm taking another stab at getting a strike here. And it's just like more and more lessons, which I knew. I knew getting a dog was going to be out of my comfort zone in so many areas of life. And now I'm seeing.
It's like your spirit. Your spirit said yes to getting a dog because it was like, oh
Yes.
yeah, perfect little human tool.
Absolutely.
To teach me some of the things I've been wanting to learn.
Yes. Like I knew this was going to like expedite my growth and my timeline. And I'm like ready for that. So I'm just in the thick of it all. But when it's coming back to, like, if we're coming back to like the shoes and the ball, like that the control aspects of life in this human form, is that I got to come back to me. I got to come back to my well-being and my health, my nourishment, my vitality versus so easily, and I know so many people are going to relate to this, so easily providing for the other, whatever the other
prioritizing is. The other almost.
Yeah. I mean, that's my last 3 weeks. I've been so shocked about how little focused time I'm allowing for like my own work and just.
But also like notice how you said like focused time. It's not even like you were like space from the puppy to just be with myself. You went straight to like to do work for somebody else.
My generator self. Yes.
Which is like, that does give you vitality and like,
right,
but I think there's a layer before it to just be with yourself and your body before even diving into work.
It's so true. Like that little pup is like, if he had his way, he
is work.
So much work.
Yeah, like, so not go from work to work, but that is work right now.
My delusional self. Yes, it is. But yes, it's been taking me kind of till this point to be like, okay, need to separate. Like, need to get back to me here.
That new mama phase. Dang.
Yeah. So I've been feeling like I'm hitting a lot of universal bumpers in the last 3 weeks in a way that isn't like my typical, like isn't like my norm. So there's this new level of awareness, and like literally before Jen and I started recording, she like, I just like shedded a new sense of self in like 2 hours. So a lot of that came through
literally,
like, I'm not even joking, people. You probably would have rather listened to that than this, but you don't get that. You don't get that level on podcast. But the main things is around receiving and really not in like the big scope, right? In this universe, talking about like surrender, receiving. Like I kind of go blank. Like, I don't know. How do I even?
It's like it's almost meant to feel like just a ball rolling down a lane. Like that's what life can feel like. And that's like the baseline of abundance, is just to receive and roll down the lane and look what you're experiencing and enjoy it and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But sometimes we feel like we have to like prove that we've done something or are of value or are contributing or whatever it is. And I feel like that's kind of the flavor in your case and has been in mine, like totally.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But like, and that's like, we're like, I'm going to go bump up against this. Just don't worry. I'm taking a hit too.
Yeah. I mean,
don't worry. Look, this isn't easy, but it's allowed to be easy. Like, that's just such an interesting thought too, of how, like, is there shame around it being easy?
Oh yeah. I think especially for women too. Like that's societal for sure.
Like, but we're literally the feminine energy.
Yes, we are.
We are the feminine. And so it is supposed to be easy and fluid and just
receivership.
Like liquid. Yes.
I mean, that's when our divine is activated.
We are the bowling ball now. Now I've switched. We've become the bowling ball.
Okay.
And we're just receding down that slippery little lane.
Yep.
And the bumpers are our masculine container of the universe and the path we set up for ourselves
Oh,
and our spirit
friend.
set up for us.
Yes. I
And
agree
don't
with
fight the
that.
path you set up for yourself before coming into this life.
Yes.
Like you're good. You're
Yep.
supported. You got it.
Absolutely. And if you don't feel that way,
Enjoy
just
the ride. Sorry.
enjoy the ride. 100%. That's the first thing, right? Like
Mhm.
gratitude, right? Like that's
Mhm.
always going to increase.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
always going to be a great first step. But it's also bringing back that awareness and the intention too. Like that
Hmm.
will start to ground you. That'll make that
Hmm.
lane smoother. Like just these little pieces,
Slippery.
nice and
Yeah.
slippery, nice and lubed up there, friends. Oh my gosh.
Oh, just lube up your life a little bit more.
I mean, that's not bad advice. Okay. Not bad advice.
Like, stop trying to make it so hard on yourself.
I mean, it is.
Oh.
It like we both, yeah, like we both are coming through to the, I feel like this next kind of portal, which I imagine a lot
Hmm.
more people feel like it. It's very eclipsey season as well.
Hmm.
So
I would
there's
also
positive
say
there.
like time in the scope of like just human collective experience, like the new paradigm is on the horizon. I feel like we started feeling that shift in 2020.
Yes.
And, we're 3 years, almost 4 years later now.
Yeah.
And the new paradigm is just going to be a new way of living, a new way of being in 2027. And so, just like energetically, individually, we're all shifting, we're all transforming. We all came here to be a part of this like epic, this is the way it used to be, and this is the way it could be experience. So, I think for us too, like we're reaching a point of like, there was a lot of figuring things out and a lot of like healing and like being in the weeds of manipulating our energy and calibrating it the last 3 years. And now we're at a point where we're like, oh, okay, it's calibrated. Like now
Mhm.
we can just receive. There's not as much work to do,
Yeah.
I guess.
And that, like, as you were saying that for the yearly timeline, like,
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting up to this 2027, like, there's a lot of heaviness in the world right now.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
lot of devastation happening, and like that's going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, being able to ground yourself in like everything we've just been talking about in this whole
Mm-hmm.
metaphor in that bowling alley of ours is even more important
Mm-hmm.
because that is what's going to help us as a collective to get to this individuality,
Mm-hmm.
because like it's heavy, right? Like you can be consumed by it so quickly, and like that mental
Mm-hmm.
load that we started this conversation around,
Mm-hmm.
like, ooh, it can go
Yeah.
all sorts of places.
And I like what you're saying, and too, I want to emphasize like it's totally fine to feel
Yeah. Yeah.
resistance to whatever is happening in your individual life or in the collective. It's not about not feeling the uncomfortable feelings or feeling the pain or the sadness or the heartbreak, but feel it from your body and from your heart because that's where it's actually felt and can be released. When we feel it from our minds and our egos, we
Mhm.
will stay there forever. And nobody will, none of us, no one will move forward, right? Like we can't
We'll
feel
just
and
continue to
resolve.
spiral.
Yeah, we can't heal or resolve things from the mind. It's all from the body. So I think a lot of this is just, I don't, and this is not the right word, invitation, but like it's a time for us to practice feeling
Yeah,
so that
it is. I think
we
that's a
can
perfect way.
feel abundance in the
Yeah.
future.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're doing a lot over here.
We talk about big things, but also make it simple
Yeah.
and
Just
able to
like, so the, like, I feel like the conclusion here is like lube up your life.
yes, lube it up, hashtag. Read that one. Lube it up, people.
I'm sure that already is a hashtag, Jessica, and I
It
don't
probably
know if
is.
I want to
Maybe
search
don't look
it.
it up. Don't look it up, but
We're
our
not
intention.
claiming that hashtag. Never mind. But lube up your life. But anyways, hashtag lube it up. And
Oh my God.
like listen to your bumpers, listen to the things you're bumping up
Yeah.
against.
Honor them. Honor them.
And just this is an invitation to trust that like you have your own bowling lane. The collective has its own bowling lane. And the more we can lean into that trust and that truth, the easier it is to just get to the end, to have an epic, amazing life. And it'll all be worth it for all of us
Yeah,
in our own
absolutely.
unique ways.
Yes. And please reach out to us any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I would say too, like, if you're really feeling, and that is okay. I mean, we're feeling it too, but if you're really feeling what's happening in the world right now, you're not alone in that. And if you want to have a conversation about that or need a space to kind of have that release and that processing, like, we totally invite that into our space and into our direct messages.
Absolutely. And also, like, maybe just turn off your phone for a weekend and, you know, connect
take
with
care of
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have that disconnect as well.
Be selfish. And you too, Jess. Go be selfish.
Yes. Watch out, world. Jessica's coming.
Just rolling down that lane.
Yep, just enjoying the ride.
What color would your bowling ball be?
Purple. It would totally be purple.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, what would yours be now?
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my God, I feel like mine would be like a night sky. It would be like black with like sparkles and stars. I don't know. That's what I just imagined.
But I see like dark purple in it, like a little like milky-ish.
I could see that.
No,
definitely not red, white, and blue.
That like literally would be the last thing I would have guessed, especially as a kid.
I know. I don't know.
That's
Maybe I was more patriotic back then. No, I remember not liking it.
Was your grandfather?
I was like,
was he very patriotic?
I mean, I guess maybe that was in.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That feels good.
Okay. Inner child likes that one.
All for you, Pap. That bowling ball was for you.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so you guys can always follow us on Instagram at The Woods Within. That's where we're at. Also, we would love if you guys want to leave any reviews on any platforms, but Apple's always, top of that list.
Yeah.
But also, if you guys want to follow us, subscribe, like that is also very supportive. And then you get us automatically in your downloads. So that seems like a win-win to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And leave a review if you want as well. Like, we love reading these. So if you have any certain type of feels for the conversations we're having or an experience that you're having while you're listening to us, don't hesitate to share that either, because we just appreciate it. And so does the world, because that's how the podcast grows.
Truth. All of it is accurate.
All right, guys. Well, go enjoy your bowling lane. Pick your bowling ball color and just
I feel like we need
roll with it.
We may have to roll out some stories on like what would your bowling ball look like?
I love it. Which is like so weird, right? Like, what are we talking about? But it's fine. Like,
it's fine. I'm gonna think this like bowling balls. Daily...
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll have an epic day. We love you and roll with it.
Absolutely. Bye, everyone.
Bye.